Hey everyone, welcome back to Code of the Road. Today we're going to cover an important concept that every beginner needs to understand in C++, constants and literals. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to declare constants, why they're important, and how literals are used in your programs. So let's start by jumping into the code. We got our basic setup already with hashtag include, IOStream, using namespace, and we have an int main. I'll go ahead and delete everything else in here except for that return 0. So constants are values that do not change during the execution of the program. Once you assign a value to a constant, you cannot change it. So let's declare a constant in C++. So I'll make an int max age is equal to 100. And before this int, I'm actually going to write const, which stands for constant. So we're using the keyword const to declare a constant named max age of type int, and we're assigning it to the value of 100. This means that the value of max age can never be changed during the program. It will always be set to 100. Constants are great for values that stay the same throughout the program, like maximum limits or fixed configurations. In this case, max age might represent the maximum age allowed in a particular system. So let's see what happens if we were to try to change the value of a constant. So I'll type in max age is now equal to 101. And when I hover over this, it's going to say expression must be a modifiable value. And it's going to show us exactly where the problem is when we hover over it, saying const int is equal to const int max age is equal to 100. So constants are meant to be immutable or unchangeable. So I'll go ahead and comment or delete. I'll go ahead and delete this line. And now let's move on to literals. A literal is a fixed value that you can write directly into your program. You've actually already seen literals before, like when we set max age to 100. The number 100 is a literal. Literals can be numbers, characters, or even strings. So let's write some examples of different literals. So under my int max age, I'm going to create an int age is equal to 25. So 25 is an integer literal, which is a fixed type value of int that we're storing in age. And in the next line, I'll create float height is equal to 5.9. So in this line, 5.9 is a floating point literal, representing a decimal number. We're storing it in the variable called height, which is the type float. Whenever you need to store numbers with decimals, you'll use a floating point literal like this. And we can also assign the same one as char grade is equal to a, which is just a character literal. And then even a string name is equal to something like Alice, which is our string literal. So now let's combine constants and literals to see how they work together. So I'll go ahead and erase everything in here, and I'm going to create a const float called pi, which is equal to 3.14159. And I'm going to create a float called radius, which is equal to 5.0. And then I also want to create something called a float area, and I'm going to equate this to pi times radius. So here we're declaring pi as a constant of a type float, which has a value of 3.14159. Then we're using it along with the literal 5.0 to calculate the area of a circle. Notice how we use both constants and literals in the calculation. This is a perfect example of why constants are important. We use pi all the time in calculations, and by making it constant, we ensure the value can never be changed by accident. So let's go ahead and print out the value. So I'm going to type in cout, and then in double quotes, I'm going to type in area of circle, like so. And then I'm going to tell it to get that variable name called area. And then I'm simply just going to end the line here. And now when I actually print this out, you're going to see the area of the circle is 78.5397. So to summarize, constants are values that stay fixed during the execution of a program, and literals are the raw values that you use to assign data to variables or constants. Using constants helps make your code more predictable and safe from accidental changes. If this video helped you understand constants and literal in C++, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to Code of the Row for more beginner-friendly tutorials. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.